Guys, check out how insane this dune is. It is hard to depict how aggressive this slope is. It's absolutely beautiful water. But yeah, the top's clear back up there. And let me know in the comment section below if this actually looks huge. So it's about 500 feet. Sun's starting to come out there. Sparkling water. Hopefully you guys can see that. Let me start up the gimbal here. There you go. Let's talk about EOS governance. So, something I haven't talked about, something that's been a hot topic for a long time. It is not sorting itself out, and in my opinion, Block 1 needs to step in and rectify the situation with their voting power via proxy or some other method. I'm not going to go through all the proposals of different people have said what should be done, and how to rectify the situation, but something needs to be done. I'm going to tell you why. One of the reasons why STEEM has slipped from number 3 to number 80 plus on CoinMarketCap is partially because of the governance, because of the witness voting. For a long time, well, STEEM has about 98.98% of attrition rate for several different reasons, but one of them is because people have felt that the witness voting is unfair. There's a few accounts that have been around since, essentially very, very early, that were early investors or people who worked for STEEM Incorporated or something. Like there's the Freedom account, and there's Pumpkin, there's a couple others that essentially are dictating the majority of who is going to be the witnesses or not. Now you might say, well, what if that's owned by somebody at STEEM Incorporated? Isn't that the same as EOS stepping in and using their voting power? Well, not really, because if they do it via proxy, if they do it through a trusted member, someone like Colin Talks Crypto or Investing with a Difference, or somebody who's been picking block producers who have been providing, a lot of support for the community and additional code and additional utility like the Gray Mass wallet or these types of things, then that would actually be the best route, is just go with them and utilize the voting power to vote through some sort of proxy like that. And there's been different proposals of how to fix this, but you do not want the situation to get out of hand like it got on STEEM. There's so many issues with STEEM, and people come to STEEM and they feel like it's unfair. Now, there's been a couple witnesses who have told me that, well, my job, the job of a witness is essentially to solve blocks, and I don't need to program, and I don't need to do these other things. But the fact of the matter is, the community expects them to do these things, and the other people who want those witness positions are willing to do those things, but these people are in the way. And so people just start leaving. They're like, well, this is an unfair system because of this reason, that reason, and these other reasons. And they stop and they start leaving. With EOS block producers, it's the same way. A precedence was set in the fact that some of these block producers or candidates for block production were doing all types of work, programming stuff like the Gray Mass wallet and these kind of things. And most of these block producers have been, they're out of the top 20. And they're kind of way down the list. And so all the work that they've put in and all the due diligence and all this kind of stuff has really kind of gone for nothing at this point. And I really feel bad for a lot of them. I'm actually glad that I didn't become a block producer or get involved in some of these block production groups, from the standpoint of they probably feel like they wasted their time at this point. So that EOS does not get out of hand and the governance issue does not crush it like what has happened to STEEM, Block 1 should step in, because yes, they are the creators of the EOS.io software, and so they aren't necessarily, the ultimate governance or anything behind EOS, the, community launched currency. At the end of the day, if EOS fails, then, Block 1 is, obviously that's a big chunk of money that they're going to lose out on. And secondly, it doesn't shed a good light on it. So I think that they should be taking this situation a lot more seriously and shouldn't be saying, well, that's just what happens, or that's what's going to happen, and that these other people have taken over it and we're not going to really intervene. You don't want that to happen, in my opinion, because we've seen what has happened with STEEM, and we've seen a lot of talented individuals, whether they're content creators, people who have technical capabilities, have walked away from STEAM. I've just stayed just to piss everybody off, I guess, maybe. I don't know. I put a proposal in on the proposal system. A lot of you guys saw that, to create a game that people could, basically like a little arcade game that people could play out on Steam. And the proposal hasn't gotten approved. Essentially, there's a lot of people who have been a part of that community that, are essentially just kind of relegated to, obscurity or whatever, and we can't really participate to the level that we'd like, in that system and everything. And I think that the same thing could happen with EOS, and if the block producer situation isn't rectified. Now, some people are going to say, well, what about Bitcoin or Litecoin or these proof of work coins? Who cares really who's mining the block as long as the transactions are going through? It's different with the delegated proof of stake stuff because of the amount that you can make, and that only a certain number of people are led into those positions, and it's voted upon by the community and by the stakeholders. So when it's very clear that there's other people who would be better off in those positions, it's just a bad look. Anyway, follow me on all social media at Brian Phobos, YouTube, Instagram, Steam it. See you guys later.